It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and my guy is here. I like you as a person and as a chef. Chef JJ is here.
What's up?
What's up?
How are you? It's always good to see you. No, it's always good to see you.
And you've had an incredible year. I want to say I saw you opened up field trip at the Atlantis in the Bahamas.
We need you to come down.
Okay, say less, because I just saw Kevin Lyles yesterday. He was like, yeah, I'm going to be going here and here in Bahamas. I was like, okay, I need to.
I got you.
Yeah, I haven't been there in so long. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. But it's at the Atlantis, and I love the Atlantis.
Yes, I love the Atlantis, too, because they really believed in me. It's like, that's my first big licensee deal in the business structure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, handing over your IP to somebody else to run. And, you know, being there with amazing chefs, Nobu, Jose Andres.
I want to tell you, so my great Atlanta story is when I used to work for M&M, it was one of the women that works there, it was her birthday, my girl Tracy. And so Paul Rosenberg calls me. He's like, listen, we're sending Tracy to this hotel in the Bahamas for her birthday as a birthday gift. This is when the Cove just opened at the Atlantis. And he was like, I was like, okay, that's so nice. He was like, but we can't send her alone, so do you want to go? And I was like, absolutely. So I ended up going on that trip, but I didn't have any money, right? Because I was younger, I was broker. And so I ended up winning money in the casino there. So it's always going to have $2,400 in the slots in like less than 5 minutes. Yeah.
I can't. When I play the slots, I never win.
I never normally play the slots, but let me tell you, that I Dream of Jeannie slot machine, that day, it was my day and I hit.
So you were good for the rest of the trip?
So the rest of the trip, I was paying, I took her to Nobu. I was paying for everything, but that was such a blessing, and that's why I'm always like, so I'm so happy that you opened at the Atlantis, because I would definitely be there to check it out.
No, we would love to have you. Field trip is there. It's right before you enter into the water park. It is, very something consciously healthy, better for people that are looking for good food. It's good for kids. You can eat it on the beach. But yeah, we're part of the new addition to the food program there. When I got the call to open, they wanted to partner with us. The president of the Atlantis came to field trip in Harlem. Wow. Me and her sat down. She just wanted to try a little bit of the food. She wanted him staying a lot longer because she really loved it. And that's how the deal was sold. But yeah, we're great. We're there a lot. My kids get to go there.
They're like, thank you, Dad.
Yes. Yes, they are.
I wonder where they want to open next. They're like, can we do Hawaii? So how many field trips are there now?
There's 4 field trips. One in Harlem between 115th and 116th Street and Lenox Avenue. One in front of Columbia University. One in Rockefeller Center, and then one in the Atlantis.
Yeah, that's good because there's one right near us at Rockefeller Center. Yes. So that's a huge deal. And now you can make your own rice bowl.
You can make your own rice bowl. You be really knowing this stuff that we be.
I follow you because I pay attention. I was actually on your show, Just Eats with Chef JJ, and learned how to make some chicken guisado.
Oh, I knew you were going to do that to me.
What? Because you can't.
I can never say the guisado. But ever since you helped me, I can say it right now.
And that is, but that is something that I've been trying to work on because I'm never home, and I always make excuses for why I don't cook more often.
But hold on, you text me that beautiful kitchen you have.
I barely used it so
far.
And
I'm like, okay, what are we going to cook in this kitchen? I mean, that kitchen you have is beautiful.
All right, well, maybe you can send your sous chef to come help me learn how to make some things, But honestly, congratulations, because that is such a big deal. And I know that this field trip, when I first met you, you were at Minton's. Is that how you say it? Minton's. Yeah. And you were the head chef there.
Yes, I was.
And since then, you have definitely grown a lot. You also are now what is the title in Ann Arbor at Blue Llama?
Blue Llama Jazz Club in Ann Arbor. I'm the culinary director. I took over the food program there in Ann Arbor. That's another place I want you to come because you're always in Detroit.
Right. And I was in Ann Arbor for a wedding because my cousin went to University of Michigan.
It's such a beautiful place.
It is. So I've been there like quite a few times, and I've gone to speak at the university. And they definitely need that there because every time I go out to try to find something to eat, it's like Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, you're right there on the strip. Yeah, so the food at Blue Llama is Afro-Caribbean. You can get leeks yassa.
Oh, I'm there.
You can get jerk prawns. We do a pineapple glaze, ribeye. So it's a lot of flavor. The Jazz Club is super beautiful. We bring in Grammy Award-winning talent. 75 seats in the dining room, 20 seats at the bar. Amazing bar program. One of my favorite cocktails there is a pineapple kind of julep that we love.
Let me tell you, if y'all happen to run into Chef JJ at the bar, he will make you switch up whatever it was that you were about to order. But that's really dope because I also thought about earlier you working at the Jazz Club in Harlem, and then now you have an opportunity to do that in Ann Arbor too. And
full circle. Like I know how Jazz Clubs move and shake. But yeah, I mean, being at Minton's, being at Seale back in the day, the start of my career, was great. On the block, 118th and St. Nicholas, so much history. Billie Holiday, you know, Wynton Marsalis, so many people. You know, the one thing that stands out to me at Minton's was when John Baptiste played.
Ooh.
And this is before, like,
all of the
world.
Yeah.
Like, if you were a jazz head, you knew John Baptiste. I'm like, who's this guy's playing down the middle of the aisle with the, I don't know, was whatever. I call it the flute, but it wasn't the flute. And it was just amazing. He played for 3 nights. We were sold out. And that's when I really realized that jazz music is really a foundation of a lot of things and the foundation of Black culture. I mean, I grew up with it in my household with my dad. But watching John Baptiste, he really inspired me to know, like, if you keep believing in your craft, you could become as big as you want to become. And I look at him today.
Yeah, I watched his documentary as well.
Great.
And everything that he's gone through, like with his family, with his wife, and all of that. Yeah. So, oh man, this is so dope to be able to see all of these things that you've been doing. Every time I look on your social media, you're like in a different place. You know, no, but honestly, so you spent the whole summer in the Bahamas?
I spent 2 months in the Bahamas. Sheesh. Yeah. I was there for 2 months. It was great. It was great in the beginning, but then after a while, it's like, okay.
I got other stuff
to do. But it was such a big project, you know, working with the team remotely. The management team coming here to train, me sending down 7-8 employees to train the team there. It was a big lift. And the goal for me is some people will never come to New York to try Field Trip.
Right.
Some people will never know me anywhere else. This is the only place they'll know me. They'll go to Atlantis. And the food has to be good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Right? So, because then they're like, okay, dude, JJ's trash, right? That's the only place you're going to remind. So I'm very hands-on. I'm like that in all the projects. I believe in the food. Without the food, I'm nothing.
It's interesting because, like you said, you have to make sure everybody's trained right because quality control is important. And for you having started Field Trip, so is it now people can license that out and open other locations?
People can license it out, which is very different than a franchise.
Okay, explain that to me.
So anytime you go to like a big hotel, right? And I'll use you see restaurants there. Let's use Vegas as an example. Most restaurants in Vegas are licensee deals. So Vegas sees a void, the hotel sees a void. They're looking for the best in class to fill a space. I use Bobby Flay as an example because he has so many restaurants in Vegas.
Right.
He has a concept that they either love at the street side that they're bringing inside the hotel, or they love you as a chef or a person that you develop something with them. You're licensing out your intellectual property. So you're licensing out your name, anything else that falls underneath you, your recipes, maybe your brand colors, everything else. And you're giving them the right to operate it. And you work out a percentage on top line sales.
Okay, so they can't change the menu. It still has to...
Yeah, you put all these guidelines in that how everything can work, how many times the menu could get changed, who can change the menu, how it gets signed off on, what they can do, how they can do it, how many times you go there.
Right.
It is similar to a franchisee model, but when you hand over the franchisee, they're running it. And you have to really trust that person. If I get an opportunity to go to Vegas, I know like Vegas knows how to run restaurants. The same thing with Atlantis. Atlantis has been running restaurants for 50 years, right? With some of the best chefs. So I trust them with my brand because they're not going to hurt my brand because that also is going to hurt them. I'm not the lover of the franchisee model yet. People call me all the time from all over the country. They want to franchise Field Trip.
It only
Houston,
makes sense, yeah.
Ohio, all these places, but you got to be really ready to let go.
Right. Because the control that you have, because imagine you go to a field trip in Houston and now Keith Lee shows up.
Right?
And then it ruins the whole name of the brand because things like that can happen, right?
Correct.
Somebody has a bad experience, or let's just say it's a restaurant where there's security at the door and they're like, I couldn't get in. It felt racist. They let all these other white people in. And the next thing you know, everybody's giving you bad reviews. You have to really be careful, like who works.
You got to be really careful.
Yeah.
You make me laugh about the Keith Lee thing. But because I really wanted Keith to pull up when he was in New York City. I hit him like, yo, you don't got to pull up to Field Trip, but like, let me help you out.
Right. Yeah, because I think that was one thing that people were like, who is suggesting some of these places for you to go to?
And like New York is the Mecca, so you got to hit the high, the low, and the medium. Because everybody in some regard in New York City is a family-owned business.
Right.
And that's his whole thing, right?
Where would you have told him to go?
I think he should have hit every borough. He should have did Harlem. I mean, Harlem's not a borough, but he should have did like Midtown, Uptown, Upper West Side, Upper East Side. He should have went to Brooklyn. He went into Brooklyn, but I would have told him to hit some different spots.
Okay.
I might have told him. I probably would have told him to hit some of my favorite places in New York City.
What are those? I'm curious.
I would have told him to go to East Harlem to
Okay.
like a Cuchi Frito spot, like old school Puerto Rican spot on like 110th and 3rd Avenue.
What is it? Cuchi frito?
Yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah.
Okay.
Like the fried, all that like fried pork skins, you know, empanadas. That's what they call it.
Okay.
I would have definitely told him to pull up to Melba's.
All right,
because-
Melba's classic. All right.
Because it's a classic, right? Or Sylvia's
Right.
classic. I would have definitely told him to go deep in the Bronx. Where in the
See?
Bronx, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, that's crazy because I really don't ever go eat in the Bronx because I'm from Brooklyn, so it's so far from me. But
But either Arthur Avenue or a pizza joint. You know, there's so much history in the Bronx. I would have told him to go to, and then you got to come down. Like you also got to try some of the best chefs, and some of the best chefs are in New York.
yeah, absolutely.
So why wouldn't you pull up to La Bernardin? Right?
Okay.
I mean that you know how
Yeah.
he had to sit through 11 courses there. First of all, Eric Repair would have not known who he was.
Which is what he wants. He
Right.
wants people who don't know who you are.
They wouldn't have cared, and they would have gave him the best service. I think like also leaning into some of that as well would have been cool.
When it's like for you a special night out, can you just make that call and go to like Tatiana's and Carbone, or do you just try to do things the way that everyone else does it?
I try to do things the way everybody else does
But
it.
sometimes it doesn't work out.
I do hit like Mario Carbone set me up nice,
Right. Why wouldn't you hit him up? Right.
but we go like way back, like kids, like 18 years old, and I've watched
That's
him on the
dope.
grind. I mean, I remember Teresi when Teresi when he first opened, and I think what he's done is tremendous. That he's been able to keep food at like a super high level and scale it. That's unheard of.
Right.
Tatiana's hard though.
Yeah, it is hard.
Tatiana's hard. I try not to go through Kwame because I know like so many people hit him up. I try to go through all the other people over there that I
But then
know.
sometimes you're like, yo, let him
I'm
know.
like, yo, Kwame, come on, man, help us out. Like, let me get this.
Because everybody's like,
Like, yo,
how
I don't
can
want the
get in?
5:30 table. Like, can I get the 7:15?
Well, you got to ask way in advance. And sometimes you could just show up and get in, you know.
But it's a beautiful thing, though.
Yeah, it is. I love that because for him to have that, to have Tatiana's in that location where he has it is like unheard of.
It's unheard of. But yeah, but Coca Dot, no, Coca Dot, I'm.
That's what
pulling
the
it.
fried chicken
Yeah,
place?
like,
okay,
I
that
know
everybody's
those-
talking
I
about.
know those guys, so.
I
I'm hitting
haven't
them on
been
this-
there yet.
Oh, we should go. But
Okay.
I don't know you. Are you changing the way you eat?
I'll eat some fried chicken now.
Okay.
That's the reason why I still eat chicken.
With the
'cause-
caviar though on top?
Not caviar. I would be like, don't put the caviar. Does that bother you when people are like, I have this, but take this out? I don't eat that, so change this.
I'm past that in my career now. That's
Okay.
why we have this build your own bowl at field trip.
Right.
That
Where
was
you're
my
like,
whole
please.
team's idea. I didn't want to do it. I was like, hey, I made this menu. It tastes really good the way it is. Why should I let people come in here and build their own? But it's like, why not?
Yeah.
So many people want control of the way they eat. So that's why we do it at field trip now. And it's been a real success.
I love that. And now we also, by the way, are doing the Wine and Food Festival. You're the one that put me onto this. So I love this too because we've done the Miami Wine and Food
Miami.
Festival, the New York City Wine and Food Festival,
Yes.
the Cookout. And this is really your curated event. So let's talk about this because I'm excited. It's in Brooklyn for the first time ever. So not only is that easier for me, but I just love the idea of having these events in Brooklyn.
Oh, I mean, big up to Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn as a borough has done a great job building it back up, right? From a time that people weren't really paying attention to Brooklyn. It has so much history. I remember talking to Carmelo Anthony. He's like, yo, man, my hood where I'm from, everybody wants to live there now.
Ain't he from Queens?
Carmelo? No, he's from
it's in
Red
Brooklyn.
Hook.
Okay, just got to check.
Come on, don't let Carmelo know that. But I think it's great. I mean, there's so much talent. There's so much talent in Brooklyn. So many restaurants. We're gonna be highlighting so many people. But the Cookout is to celebrate Black excellence around food and now music. And I'm so happy that you're involved with your voice and your love of food and coffee.
Right, coffee. We did the New York City, we did the Miami Wine and Food Festival, and we did the espresso martinis
Correct.
with my coffee uplifts people with Lobos Tequila. That was amazing.
I only could drink two because after that I was like super
You
wired.
were wide awake. Yeah,
Super
and listen,
wide awake.
and that's how I am with espresso martinis too. My maximum is 2. But what I love about it, because it's such a popular drink now, you could be feeling a little like sluggish. Get you an espresso martini, and we back at it, baby. Another 6 hours. Let's go.
Let's go. But don't get us together because then me and you start drinking tequila.
I know. And then you're like, try this one, try this one, try this one. And nothing wrong with sampling tequila. That's very fun.
But that's
for me.
also what's going to be great about the Cookout is that you can walk 25 chefs. You can walk around and hit chefs you may know, chefs you don't know. And it's going to represent all of Black food culture. And you don't really see that at festivals.
No, you do not, especially not at the level that you have this. And actually, my friend Jasmine, who owns Jasmine's and Samir in the city, I met her at the New York City Wine and Food Festival. And since then, I've been going to her restaurant. She was like, oh, I'm from, Jasmine's. You have to come to the restaurant. And I met her at that event. And now I go there all the time. And then they opened up Samir, and it's a French Caribbean cuisine restaurant. And that is like my go-to spot. And it's right over here.
I didn't know they opened it. That's in Midtown, right?
Yeah, it's on 46th Street. It's on Restaurant Row, right by Broadway, where all the plays are. But it's like the only 2 Black-owned restaurants. They own both of them on that block.
Okay.
And so that's a really
what's up. Big up to that.
Yeah, it's Restaurant Row. So that's a big deal for them to have that. But they were actually at the New York City Wine and Food Festival, and I met them there. I met so many amazing chefs there and had an opportunity to try so many things. So I just want to say, anybody who is planning to come out, make sure you say no diet for this particular day. If you're doing some type of detox just for one day, just get off of it.
I recommend exactly like eat a light breakfast, pull up hungry.
Yeah,
and I think you should get the early bird ticket because that will allow you to hit everybody before all the people come in.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. And like you said, it's not just the food, it's also the drinks. Yes. And you guys have like top level. I think Bacardi is. Yeah, Bacardi's presenting. And when I tell you, okay, I got there early. Ice-T was there last year. We had a time.
We did have
Rev
a time.
Run was there.
Rev Run was there. Yeah.
It
was a good time. I'm looking forward to this year though. We got Freeway.
Mm-hmm. And Freeway's doing. Isn't he in the food space? Is he?
I don't know if he's in the food, but he really cares about the food.
Okay.
He really connected. I connected him and Lee Schrager together, who's the founder of the food festival. They both sit on a similar organization together in different.
Yeah, Freeway does a lot.
Yeah.
You know what? Freeway should bring Beanie Siegel because Beanie Siegel has the food truck.
Oh.
Yeah, he has a food truck. I'm going to tell them.
You think Beanie pull up outside with the food truck?
I could see him pull up with the food truck.
That would be
Which
epic.
is really dope.
Correct. Yeah. Everybody have to move to the side and Beanie drives his food truck in.
No, but okay, so Beanie Siegel. I mean, I'm not Beanie Siegel. Freeway's going to be there.
Freeway's going to be there. Rev's going to be there. You're going to be there.
I'm going to be there, yes. And the music's fun. The food is amazing.
Correct.
It's in Brooklyn.
2 amazing DJs. And more people to come.
Yeah. So I just want to say, like, last year when I went, I bought, like, some of my friends. And at the last minute, everybody was hitting me up. Like, can you get me in? Can you get me in? Yeah, get your tickets and support this amazing event because it is something that really is unheard of. It's the Cookout. Chef JJ really curates this whole event. When we did the one in Miami.
Yep.
I met so many amazing chefs there. I mean, there were things that I've never seen before because it's dessert also. Correct. And I have quite a sweet tooth.
I remember that people would
everybody was bringing me so much food.
Check this.
And I'm very polite, so I'm gonna finish it. And I definitely did. So
yeah, I think if you're in New York City and you're looking for something to do, and you're like, I haven't really had that fun moment yet, the Cookout's gonna give it to you. The best in food, the best in music. You're gonna dance. It's a Cookout. You're gonna be around amazing people. You might meet somebody new.
Right.
And it's for a good cause. With God's love, we deliver.
With God's love, we deliver. And the good thing is you'll also discover some new restaurants. So when you go there and sample everything, and it's a really low price for the ticket to be able to get everything is free once you get inside.
Correct.
And it's going to help open you up to new restaurants like it did for me.
Yeah, I mean, you just put me on 2 restaurants side by side, Restaurant Row, Black, Midtown. That's amazing. Yeah, so when you go to a Broadway play, like that's where we go right after. Now, also, Simple Art of Rice, recipes from around the world for the heart of your table. That's it. First of all, love that book. It's a beautiful book. Thank you.
I'm big on cooking rice, and I actually, for some reason, people up here think I can't cook. Maybe it's because I don't cook as frequently as I should. But I certainly have been taking some advice from your book because I love rice. And we had this conversation last time. I feel like there's this misconception that rice is like, if you're trying to diet or you want to lose weight, not to eat rice.
Yeah, but you washing your rice though, right?
Yes, of course. You have to.
I want to make sure.
I got that beautiful new kitchen. And and I have the way that my sink is set up, and I know this is nothing to you, but to me it's amazing. So the way the sink is, it's called the galley sink.
Okay, yeah,
and
sink.
And then it has all these like pieces that you could put on it.
Oh, so you got the converter pieces so you can wash your vegetables and everything right in the middle?
So it makes it so much easier for me.
Look at you with the galley sink.
Yeah, I got to start using it. You know what? Every time I see you, I feel guilty. Like because I haven't been cooking at home, but I'm gonna get better.
I'm gonna come through. I'm gonna bring a sous chef. I'm gonna come through.
Okay, good.
And we're gonna.
So y'all heard it here. Chef JJ's gonna cook for all of y'all. So come through, pull up to my house. We're gonna do this. But what's next for you? Because you've done so much. I mean, you have the TV show on Clio TV.
Yes.
That's been for what? How many years now?
5 seasons now.
5 seasons, and I've been on there too. And then you have the Field Trip restaurants.
Field Trip restaurants. I have Blue Llama, Ann Arbor.
Mm-hmm.
I have Bankside. Right now, I Wonder, which is a digital kitchen. There's a bunch in Brooklyn. It's a Southern seafood. I call it Southern Seafood Shack, but a Southern seafood restaurant.
Wait, explain that to me. What is that? Bankside by Chef JJ. It's a new concept, right?
Yeah, under Wonder. So Wonder's a digital kitchen with some of your favorite chefs. You'll see Marcus Samuelson has Street Bird in there, Jose Andres, Bobby Flay, myself, and basically it's 30 restaurants under one roof. It's a new way to eat. It's owned by a gentleman named Mark Laurie, who owns the Minnesota Timberwolves. Okay. And we did a concept together, and it's making moves and waves around the whole country. There's some in Philly.
Oh, wow, that's
There's some
dope.
in Westchester, Connecticut. I think for me, it's the fastest growing restaurant I've ever seen in my personal life.
Okay.
They're popping up one in Harlem, coming 125th Street. But yeah, it's something I worked on with them for a year. You get lobster rolls, you can get fried shrimp. You can get what I think is the best fried fish sandwich, peri peri chicken.
Oh, wow. We like that.
So yeah, a little bit of spice. So yeah, there's a bunch in Brooklyn. So I got to tell you the nearest one by you so we could send some to you.
Oh, yeah. Listen, not a problem. I read somewhere that spicy food helps you live longer. I just read a whole article about that.
You know, I think good food just makes you live longer. Flavorful food makes you live longer.
You know, I love spicy food. Some people say that they don't like when the spice is overwhelming and you can't taste the food. There's a good balance there.
I mean, that's how I use spice. I always use spice for a balance. Like, I want you to have some spice, some acid, some sweetness, some saltiness. I don't ever want to give you too much spice. I might give you a super spicy hot sauce where you
right, so you can put as much as you want on it.
Correct.
I like when my nose runs. I do. That's how spicy I like my food.
So that's how you like your jerk chicken?
I do. I like my jerk chicken super spicy, where people are like, I can't eat this. And I'm like, no, it tastes good to me. I want to ask you, you do have a lot of friends in the business. How competitive is it? Like, what's the balance there when it comes to...
Oh, it's super competitive.
But because y'all are also cool with each other. Like, I see you and Marcus Samuelson
cool, yeah.
always being
But
supportive.
me and Marcus was, you know, when I was coming up, Marcus used to like hit me and be like, yo, man, you keeping me on my toes right now.
That's dope.
Right? And I was like, really? Because I look up to Marcus.
Right.
So he's really paved the way in this industry for a lot of all black chefs, I feel. But it is competitive. Listen, when we're coming to an event together, you doing the first course, I'm doing the second course. I'm trying to leave with the best course.
Right.
We want the menu to be cohesive, but trust me, every chef there is like, yo, I'm trying to put out the best food today.
Like, I'm like, is it like hip hop where to be like some hate behind the scenes where
there's probably definitely some beef behind the scenes.
Man, Chef JJ ain't all that, you know.
100% there is some beef behind the scenes. But I remember cooking at an event in San Diego, and it was like Danielle Boulud, Nancy Silverton, Thomas Keller, and myself, right? And first of all, these are like the giants of the industry. And Danielle was giving me a lot of beef. I was making oxtails.
Okay.
He's like, JJ, you got to take it off the bone. I'm like, I'm not taking it off the bone.
Ooh.
He's like, you should take it off the bone and press it. Exactly. I'm like, nobody eats oxtail like that. It's got to be on the bone, Danielle. And Nancy's like, Danielle, let him cook, man.
Right,
let him cook. Let him do his thing. So the event's going on. The event's coming up. I think I went to go use the restroom or something. And Danielle goes into the pot.
No, she did not.
He goes in the pot. He passing it around the room.
Oh, I thought you were going to say she took everything off the bone.
No.
Okay.
And then he picks up the bone, and Nancy's over there looking at him with her camera out, and all the oxtail gravy's dripping down his chin on his chef coat. And then he sees me. He's like, oh, this is good. I'm like, come on, man.
See?
But so, like, I think also chefs have to stand their ground because people will try to sway you on, because your artistry, right? It's like you said with music. You see food differently. You hear the beat different. There's so many things going on different. And for me, I would never serve oxtail off the bone.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah, I don't think we're used to that in our culture.
Maybe back in the day, the Seale, I put it in some dumplings and I did oxtail dumplings. But if I'm dropping you an oxtail, it's going to be on the bone. It's going to be really, really good and flavorful. But yeah, that was my first moment of like feeling the competitiveness, or I'm going to tell you what to do.
Yeah, you can't tell another chef how to make their food.
I'm like, yo, come on, man. I got mad love and respect for you, Danielle, but chill for a second.
Now, can you also talk to me about this Goalkeepers 2030 and what that is?
Yeah, so we got tapped by the Bill Gates Foundation over Climate Week to be a part of Goalkeepers. And what Goalkeepers is doing is trying to end hunger or around the globe. And they use rice as the foundation.
Oh, you're perfect for that.
So their team was like, oh my God, JJ serves amazing rice here, nutritional rice here in New York. Let's tap that and do that with him and give out rice bowls. Literally, we're right here by Lincoln Center, and anybody that walked by could get a rice bowl, but they also had to give a bowl to somebody in need.
Okay.
And we handed out tons of rice bowls for 2 days. And then we also partnered up with smaller organizations around in New York City and kind of are feeding people. So, but it was an honor. Like, I got to meet Bill Gates.
Mm-hmm. That's
and
nice.
also to be a part of, I didn't wash my hand for 2 days.
That's when they showed, there was a video they showed of like Bill Gates just standing outside like in Times Square or something like that.
He does these things from time to time. I saw a video of him like on a line ordering a burger. I'm like, you just walk around like
no security.
You work for a lot of money, man. Like, but yeah, it really made me feel like what I'm doing in food and what I'm believing in is the right thing, because he could call anybody.
Right. But the fact that people thought of you too, like,
correct.
He does this amazing thing because, like I said, your cookbook, The Art of Rice, is definitely the standard when it comes to
I appreciate that,
how to make different rice dishes.
I even brought my kids to hand out the food outside the food truck.
Oh, see, you got to teach them early.
So I was teaching them early, and they were in it. I was shocked. I was like, who taught you guys how to talk to people like this?
That is so nice.
So yeah, but also I think that's the only way if you're going to try to change the world, you got to bring your kids or expose them to some of these things very early so they can see what it is. What does Climate Week mean? What does malnutrition mean? What do these things mean?
Right.
Because my kids live a little bit different even than how I lived.
Okay. Last thing I want to say is I don't want to hear my chef say he didn't wash his hands for 2 weeks. For 2 days after Bill Gates. He's like, no, I did wash my hands. And you also turned 40, so congratulations on that. That's a big deal.
Turning 40?
Yeah. You know why? Because you're not going to make any of those lists anymore, like under 40.
They're making the 50 list now.
Okay, good. So now you're going to be on the under 50 list.
Nah, I don't know.
You aged out of the under 40 list.
I'm excited to be 40. I think now I could write maybe a memoir soon.
No, you know what, though? You've done a lot so far, and I know that you have a lot more on the way, but you could. You definitely could, because I know your journey has, it's been a long one. I know it feels like you're older than what you are just based off of the accomplishments that you have. Because if you look at the list of everything that you've managed to do, you've done all of that under the age of 40. That's a big deal. Yeah. So congratulations to you on that.
Much.
Let's all come out and celebrate, okay, at the New York City Wine and Food Festival, because we are going to definitely toast to you when we get out there, just for you curating this event, for always paying it forward, always making sure other people are involved and being authentic and cooking some really great food.
I'm doing jerk lamb ribs.
Okay, I don't eat lamb.
Come on in.
I know.
I'm doing some black rice?
I can do that. I love black rice. That's my favorite type of rice, black rice. I can do that. I know you don't like salmon, right?
I don't like salmon.
What else don't you like?
I can't. I only just don't like salmon. There's not many things I don't like. The other things I don't like are like innards.
Because I'm like the picky eater. Why don't you like salmon?
It's too fishy. Way too fishy.
Okay.
You like salmon?
I don't eat seafood at all because it's all too fishy.
It's way too fishy. And also, salmon is so farm raised right now that a lot of the salmon that we're consuming isn't good for us.
Okay.
So, it's a big thing for me at Field Trip that I'm trying to source the best salmon for everybody.
Because I feel like that's everyone's go-to, like salmon.
The salmon is the go-to. But for me, I would prefer Arctic char or brook trout or Dover or fluke or haddock.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard it from him first. All right. Well, listen, again, that is going to be happening October 20th. It's in Brooklyn. Where can people get tickets for the New York City Wine and Food Festival, for the Cookout specifically?
I mean, just go to Chef JJ on social media. Click the link in the bio. I'll take you right there. Or go to NewYorkCityFoodAndWineFestival.com. You get the tickets right there.
Okay. I'll be there, guys. Can't wait for it. Thank you so much, Chef JJ. You didn't bring food this time, but we forgive you.
I'm so sorry. I thought about it. I said no. I told Daniel when I came
you said
in.
No?
Daniel was like, "Don't worry about it."
You said no? They be hating on me up here. I'm not gonna lie.
I was
going to
bring you Bankside this time.
Okay, well, okay, we like that in
I'll
Brooklyn.
send,
Next time I'll send it
I'll
in
send
Brooklyn.
some here next time for lunch.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you for everything that you've been doing. So innovative. Congratulations on it all. All right, it's way up.